Thobin only wanted to build a home, but he found something that shouldn't exist, and they're willing to kill to get what they want. Forgotten History by Stephen Meehan. As Thobin completed his circle, he pulled the stick's tip off the earth and tossed it aside. He walked to its center and dropped to his knees, pressing his fingers into the soft earth. With a deep breath, he began chanting. Moments later, he ceased and withdrew his hands. Rising, he extended a palm over the ground and made a sharp motion toward the circle's edge. The surface trembled before shifting, revealing something buried, a massive sheet of metal, dulled with age but undeniably foreign. Thobin's brow furrowed as a rustle set his senses on edge.
What did you find?
Thobin turned to the voice. A man stood at the clearing's edge, casual but watchful, his predatory eyes following Thobin's every move.
I don't know who you are, but if you're a hunter, I'd recommend you leave. I won't give you a second warning.
The man smirked, stepping forward.
Do you have an objection to someone finding food?
Thobin's stance widened as he stepped towards the interloper.
You're not a wizard, are you?
With a sly smile, the stranger lifted a hand. His flesh rippled and twisted, reshaping into a feline paw before returning to its human shape.
That's all the magic me and mine can perform. But since you're in our territory, I'd appreciate an answer to my question. If not, my friends might have to encourage your cooperation.
Thobin froze. He had sensed something earlier, but now, fully alert, he extended his awareness, finding predators lurking just beyond the tree line. His gaze flicked toward a trio of large feline figures, muscles coiled beneath sleek fur, waiting for a command. Then he found two more groups of silent sentinels. Slowly, Thobin raised his hands in surrender and turned back to the stranger.
I was simply trying to establish a home. When I attempted to shift the earth for my shelter's foundation, I discovered this.
He gestured toward the massive metal plate.
It's beyond my ability to manipulate.
The stranger's feline eyes flickered toward the artifact.
What did you unearth?
I'm uncertain.
Thobin hesitated, choosing his words carefully.
But it's not natural. Though it isn't dwarven craft, nor does it bear marking from any elven or human smith.
The stranger circled the exposed surface, his keen gaze scanning the oddly smooth metal.
You're from the civilization of humans, elves and dwarves, correct?
Thobin tensed at the careful wording.
And you are?
Alric,
The stranger said. Thobin's eyes narrowed.
You didn't answer my question.
Alric's smirk widened, but he didn't offer more. Instead, he kneeled beside the artifact, brushing loose soil from its surface. His fingers traced strange markings from the sheet of metal. Thobin's head tilted as he inched closer.
Can you read the markings?
No.
Alric admitted, standing.
Do you know what it means?
For a second, I thought you possessed knowledge of it.
None of my kin have any knowledge of this.
The rustling of leaves signaled movement from the feline sentries. Their ears twitched, their sleek tails flicking in agitation. They sensed something. Alric's expression darkened.
We're not alone.
Thobin's head whipped toward the trees. A new presence had arrived, and it wasn't one of Alric's kin. A twig snapped. Alric's form blurred, shifting into a sleek, black-furred predator. His body rippled with lean muscle an instant before he bared his teeth while his kin melted into the shadows, ready to strike. Thobin's pulse quickened as he lifted his hands, murmuring a spell under his breath, causing his skin to tingle as arcane energy crackled through his veins. Then the hunter emerged. A figure with a tattered cloak stepped into the clearing. His face was obscured by a hood, except for his piercing eyes, which locked onto Thobin.
What did you uncover?
He pointed at the odd writing.
Though that's interesting.
Alric's growl rumbled through the clearing. The hunter ignored the sound. Thobin ground his teeth. The newcomer was more than one of the council's hunters. He possessed knowledge of this artifact. The hunter tilted his head, considering Thobin.
I don't believe you know what you've uncovered.
Thobin's stance widened.
And you do?
Some broad strokes of the history.
The hunter's sadistic grin intensified as he tossed the tattered cloak onto the metal.
The council will appreciate being able to fill the gaps in their knowledge.
Alric pounced, his feline body slamming into the hunter's side, sending them both sprawling. Claws flashed, but the hunter's reactions rivaled the feline. His sword clipped Alric's claws. As the hunter rose, the shifter snarled and leapt back into the trees. Thobin's hand rocketed toward the sky, and the earth shuddered as vines erupted from the ground, ensnaring the hunter. Cursing, the hunter twisted, his blade a blur as it sliced through the vines. His eyes gleamed with crimson energy as he raised a hand, an incantation forming on his lips. Energy swirled about Thobin's arm as he reacted instinctively. A moment before the hunter unleashed his spell, Thobin thrust his arm at him. The gathered bolts slammed into the interloper, creating a blinding flash of light. As an eerie silence filled the clearing and everyone's sight returned, all that remained of the hunter was a blackened patch of earth and an acrid scent. Alric shifted back to human form, clutching his fingertips.
Were you his goal, or was he after the artifact?
Primarily me, though I'm sure he would have claimed both.
I don't trust outsiders.
Alric exhaled, wiping the blood from his fingers.
Did you save my life, or was I endangered by your presence?
A little of both,
Thobin said with a curt nod. Alric ran his hands through his hair and shook his head.
Linger in our territory, and you'll know violence.
He eyed Thobin intently before vanishing into the forest as a low growl echoed off the trees.
I'll steer clear of your kin,
Thobin said, dropping beside the metal artifact. He touched the unnaturally smooth surface.
I have plenty to uncover here.
With that, our story concludes. I hope you've enjoyed today's reprieve from your daily grind. If you like the vibe, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Because every bit helps get this channel spread to those who require a momentary chance to unwind. I'll see you for the next tale, my friends. Thanks for reaching the end of the video. But why not keep the rhythm going? Pick one of the videos on screen and settle in for another moment of escape. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and tap the bell to get notified when new tales drop.